I'm not being hyperbolic like a time chamber when I say that our first Mega Evolution set is already better than Black Bolt and White Flare. Marking the end of the Scarlet and Violet era and the start of the Mega Evolution era, that first set will come to Pokemon TCG Live on September 25th, according to PokeBeach. It will include cards from Japan's Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia dual sets, which released there on August 1st. As we already knew, Mega Lucario EX and Mega Gardevoir EX will be the headliners for the Japanese sets. And that's where we'll start with Mega Gardevoir EX. Ironically, the best part about Mega Gardevoir isn't the card itself. It's the fact that we're getting a new Ralts and a new Kirlia. And because Gardevoir EX isn't already a good enough deck, these are both improvements over the existing ones. The new Ralts draws a card, while the new Kirlia has 10 extra hit points plus an attack that gets 3 Pokemon from deck. Compare this to the old Ralts, which can only deal 30 damage for 2 energy. And the old Kirlia, which yeah, in a pinch it's an okay attacker, but the setup power of the new one is insane. If you forgo 10, Mega Evolutions are 3 prize Pokemon. And unlike Mega Evolution in the XY days, you evolve into them as you normally would a Stage 1 or a Stage 2. So instead of Mega Gardevoir evolving from Gardevoir, it evolves from Kirlia because that makes sense. I'm sure a single copy of Mega Gardevoir EX will make its way into Gardevoir, but it's tough to say if the deck actually needs it. Overflowing Wishes accelerates the Psychic Energy onto each of your bench Pokemon, but that kinda goes against what Gardevoir EX wants to do. Mega Symphonia, however, does 50 damage times the number of Psychic Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. That could be great for KOing Mega Evolutions, considering that we're creeping ever closer to 400 hit point Pokemon. That being said, Drifloon can already do up to 330 damage with a Bravery Charm, and Munkidori can handle the rest. So yeah, Mega Gardevoir's biggest contribution right now is the pre-evolutions. Because Gardevoir's been struggling so much in tournaments lately, the Pokemon Company decided to give it access to one of the strongest stadium cards ever printed. And that might be selling it short. Mystery Garden allows you to discard any energy from hand. Then you draw cards until you have as many cards in hand as Psychic Pokemon you have in play. So if you have 6 Psychic Pokemon in play, discard an energy and this stadium draws you up to 6. I repeat, this stadium can draw Gardevoir 6 cards while also getting an energy in the discard pile for Gardevoir's ability. And don't forget that Secret Box finds not only a stadium, but an item, tool, and supporter as well. So yeah, Gardevoir is going to win every tournament until it rotates in March 2026. And as we learned from NAIC, while Grimmsnarl has a good matchup against Gardevoir, it's not guaranteed to win. As someone who hates facing Gardevoir on PTCGO because they take 10 minutes to take 1 prize card, I'm not excited about them having access to more cards to extend their turn even further. In happier news, 3 prize basics are back. Okay, well that's not actually happy news. Because the Pokemon Company saw how much we loved 3 prize basics last time around, they're bringing them back. While this is a 280 hit point 3 prize dragon, don't worry, Latias EX isn't going to dominate the format like ADP did. Instead, it simply does 300 damage for a Fire, Psychic, and Colorless, losing all energy in the process. On one foot, this is simply a worse Pikachu EX. Pikachu may have 80 less hit points, but it gives up 1 fewer prize card and has an ability that can protect it against one-hit KO moves. Plus, Clefairy can easily one-shot Mega Latias and take 3 prizes. On the other, slightly smoother foot, Latias has some good partners. Thanks to Latios' ability, whenever Mega Latias goes from the bench to the active, you can move any amount of energy from your bench Pokemon to it. Team Rocket Spidops is an easy way to get energy into play, though it won't be a very good backup attacker. Same with Ho-Oh EX, though you'd probably cut Latios in favor of just adding a single copy of Latias EX to your existing Ho-Oh Armarouge deck. No matter how you look at it though, Mega Latias EX seems disappointing. The damage output isn't high enough to justify a 280 hit point 3 prizer, and I think it might end up being a dud. Another new Mega Evolution arriving in September, we have Mega Venusaur EX, setting the record for highest HP ever given to a Pokemon at 380 for 4 Grass Energy. Jungle Dump does 240 damage and heals 30 from Venusaur. And if you think there's no way they keep Jungle Dump as the attack name in English, remember that Venusaur and Snivy Tag Team GX had the Forest Dump attack. Anyways, 240 is a good enough number, one-shotting nearly every 2 prize basic EX. And thanks to Venusaur being a grass type, you're one-shotting Grimmsnarl, Garchomp, and Charizard through weakness. But like that zoo exhibit where the fish nibble your toes, the ability is the main attraction. As often as you like during your turn, you can move basic grass energy from one of your Pokemon to another. The combo here is clear. Use Tealmasked Ogerpon to accelerate energy into play, then move it around with Venusaur. Since it only specifies grass energy and not grass Pokemon, you can charge up Mew or Fezandipiti or anybody else you want. But that strategy only matters if you plan on using multiple attackers. Thanks to the new Wally's Compassion supporter, you can simply never let Mega Venusaur get knocked out. As you can see, Wally's Compassion fully heals all damage from one of your Mega Evolution Pokemon EX, though you do have to put all attached energy back into your hand. To avoid that negative caveat, accelerate energy into play with Ogerpon, or Yanmega if you're feeling crazy, move it to Venusaur, attack for 240, then take a hit. Next turn, move the energy off of Venusaur with its ability, heal it with Wally, move it back, and do 240 again. With Hero's Cape on Venusaur and Ludicolo in play, the damn thing has 520 hit points, meaning not much aside from Raging Bolt and Golden Go and Fire types and Roaring Moon EX can one-shot the Jolly Green Giant. Don't worry, if you want to be more annoying with Venusaur, you can. While Ivysaur is completely forgettable, Bulbasaur has a corner attack. With Relicanth in play, Mega Venusaur can deal 10 damage and prevent their active from retreating. Wally's your ace in the hole for when Venusaur gets damaged, meaning you can effectively create a playable stall deck in 2025 again. Ultimately, on its own, Mega Venusaur is kinda disappointing, but when you look at all the cards you can add to it, the best Kanto starter has a chance to make an impact on Standard. One card that will absolutely make an impact on Standard is Lily's Determination. Effectively a polymerization of Lily and Cynthia from the Sun and Moon days, Lily's Determination is always at least a shuffle draw 6. But if you have 6 prize cards remaining, it becomes a shuffle draw 8, and that's absolutely insane. Considering that both Ino and Professor's Research are from the G block and will rotate in March 2026 barring any reprints, Lily's Determination is set to be our new staple draw supporter next year. Obviously, we still have a few hundred more cards releasing between now and the next rotation, but Lily's current competition is mostly Morty's Conviction and Iris's Fighting Spirit. While Morty's can be a drop to 8 thanks to Area 0, Lily is feet down the best draw supporter from the H&I block of cards. I'm now realizing that I forgot to go in depth about Mega Lucario EX. The good news about the new Riolu is that it can one-shot Bidoof for 1 energy. The bad news is that it has a 2 retreat cost and 80 hit points, putting it out of Poffin range. Now, before I tell you about Lucario's attacks, the most important part about the card is in the bottom left. Yeah, it's doubly weak to Psychic in a format where Gardevoir is going to dominate even more than it already is. Still, if you want to play it, Mega Lucario isn't terrible. 130 for a single fighting, while accelerating 3 fighting into play isn't bad. And 270 for 2 energy is great, though mostly only when paired with Premium Power Pro. Basically Electro Power from the Sun and Moon days, but for fighting types, Premium Power Pro boosts their attack by 30 and it stacks. So Mega Lucario can get it up to 390 if necessary. That being said, the card that gets the best use of playing with the PPP is Garchomp EX. It has fairly similar stats to Lucario except with a grass weakness, access to Power Weight for 400 HP, and an attack that draws cards. Looking back at the original announcement for Mega Evolutions in February, the Pokemon Company said, "You can also expect type-specific cards that will swing the momentum of battle depending on how you use them." No other type-specific cards were revealed today, but Japan's Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia have more than 120 cards combined, so expect a lot more details in the coming weeks. One item card we did learn about is Mega Signal. Like Terra Orb, it's specific Pokemon search. In this case, Mega Signal lets you grab any Mega Evolution Pokemon EX from your deck. Since it's ARV and searchable, expect most Mega Evolution decks to run a single copy. Unless their name is Mega Gardevoir and they don't mind Ultra Balling away cards from hand. To quickly cover a few of the stragglers, do you know what control decks we're missing? A way to use Xerosic's Machinations every single damn turn. Well, the Pokemon Company Amber heard our desires and decided to print this Ninetales. Academy at night any supporter on top of your deck, then use Ninetales' attack to discard it, copying the effect of that supporter as its attack. If Xerosic doesn't tickle your feet, don't forget that we also have Airy. Should they get wise to your strategy and limit their hand size, Airy away any 2 items they're clutching. I'm going to disappoint some people and say that the new Inteleon won't see play. For a single water energy, Bring Down knocks out the Pokemon with the least remaining HP except that Inteleon. We previously saw this attack on Greninja and nobody ever used it. Sure, there's ways for YouTubers out of ideas to make a video on it, but for the general population, I doubt it'll be used. Then there's Hariyama. When you evolve into it, you can bring up one of your opponent's bench Pokemon into the active. Unless the translation is slightly wrong, this is the exact same ability as Hop's Double, which has seen some play, just not a ton. The benefit of Hariyama is that it can deal 210 damage for a reversal energy. I'm guessing the Pokemon Company wants us to pair it with Mega Lucario since Aura Jab can power up Mr. Fist. Despite the increased attack power of Hariyama, I don't think it'll see much more play than Double currently does. Finally, there's Pachirisu, which is a card that exists. It's also worth noting that we're getting full art item cards. The biggest takeaway here is that Rare Candy is getting reprinted, resetting its legality for another 2.5 years. Night Stretcher, however, is not a reprint. In conclusion, even though we only know a few of the cards releasing in our unnamed Mega Evolution set on September 25th in PTCGL, it's already better than Black Bolt and White Flare. Mystery Garden is absolutely insane in Gardevoir, the new Ralts and Kirlia are upgrades over the current ones. Lily's Determination is one of the best Shuffle Draw supporters we've ever had, and Mega Venusaur EX can make you hate Pokemon cards again. The full reveal of Japan's Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia sets will happen on July 25th. Ahead of that, make sure you're subscribed for weekly card reveals where I give my expert opinions that will definitely age well.